Hi, everybody. It's Bonkai 922. Um, you pretty much saw those two uploads I did, so you know what had been transpiring on Friday and Saturday. Here's the thing. Now, there's another King of Lightning kind of clip I have, but listen, no, I'm not uploading that. That is ridiculous because I got a text from Joe 10, and he was like, maybe not, because yeah, and I have to agree with him because it's like, if King of Lightning wants to up, what I'll do is I'll keep it, but I just won't upload on my channel because, and that's beside the point because I got like a shit ton, just a shit. Oh yeah, see, bastard, shit ton of footage, interviews with cosplayers, got um the whole thing that went down after Sakura when we were, where were we? Because I recorded a little bit in the Japanese spot restaurant. I recorded after hour. You know, when we were at after the comedy club kind of thing. So there's a lot of footage to go through. Plus the Kingdom discussion that me, Smoke Raider, and Zoro and Random Vibe did. So there's a lot to go through. So, and plus I have one other one I didn't do yet, which was the debate of Naruto in the BBQs. But all will be done eventually. Eventually. In fact, after I do this video, I'm probably going to expunge some or most of that footage onto the iMovie thing. So yeah. But that is not this. This is a review. I haven't done a review in like God knows how long. It's been since probably like Thursday or Wednesday, I don't know. But yeah, this is gonna be Kenichi. Yeah, Kenichi chapter 567. Speaking of Kenichi, one guy from the J room who was there at Sakura was asking me about Kenichi, and he was like saying, "Oh, Kenichi's a pussy, he's a, he's such a pussy and shit, and he doesn't do shit." He's like, and I can see that and understand it because Kenichi, he's just that kind of character. He's, ugh, you know. But my reasoning for reading Kenichi is mostly to the masters, and not elsewhere. But yeah, this chapter 567 was called Life and Honor. Well, basically, in the very beginning, we get the Ayato's voice reaches everyone. And this actually, what happened in this chapter was kind of interesting. Because what had occurred in this chapter, and overall, I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5. I thought this was done very well with what was going down in this chapter. Because we had the breakdown of alliance between the weapons team and the non-weapons team. That's pretty much what went down in this chapter. And what was interesting to note is that the disciples, they're not taking it anymore. And when I mean disciples, I mean like Glue, Berserker, Hermit, I believe it was Kushinada. They end up going against the weapons team. ends up fighting them. So we have that happening. Also, towards the beginning, right here, we have Kenichi able to see the incoming of Mihail's blade, of his scythe. And he's saying elder, and he realizes a blade he sees, and he realizes that saying that he was able to see the master's attacks now. He's able to see this attack, but I can see it. And he's basically saying that there's no way I can avoid it. And apparently, Satomi is able to avoid it, but he can't. And Kenichi can't. And he's wondering why. Is it true that Satomi is disciple class? Because it seems like he's not. He doesn't act like a disciple. Yeah. And basically, Kenichi says, I can't do it. And we see Miyu-san. And out of nowhere, we have Hongo busting through the wall. Saying superhuman fist, twisting, penetrating hand. And this is when you can say the beginning of the end of this relationship between the weapons team and because Hongo, because I think it's Mihail saying, "Oh, you make me want to vomit," He says that to Hongo. Time to take that head of yours once and for all. And then Hongo says finally something we can agree upon. And he just shoots Mihail out the freaking window, I guess you could say. And Hongo's basically saying, come and dance with a real Grim Reaper. And so, at that point, you could say that the weapons team is too fixated on killing people and not the main objective. And now, what I find funny, though, it seems like the weapons teams that are doing this, most of them, it's really Mikhail and the disciples. Like, you notice, like, I believe the weapons team of the masters, they're not, aside from Mikhail, they're not really doing anything, like this. But, we have Satomi saying, Shiranha, you saw the sight technique earlier, didn't you? Through trials and tribulations, I had been reborn, and now finally, that technique is one of the fruit of my labors, basically telling him. So you jumped into the world of fighting without any natural talent, just like me. And that's when Satomi says, just as I expected, you really are just the kind of guy I want to defeat. I'm glad I met you. And basically his aura's changed, Satomi, and Kenichi's like saying to himself, what is this feeling? A person from the same circumstances as myself. This feeling is bubbling to the surface from deep within. From the bottom of my heart, I want to exchange blows with you. And then we have Hongo in the beginning, the end there, saying just how a duel should be. We see like a tiny little flashback there. I don't know what that is. I think it's Sakaki. But, And he's basically saying that's how a duel should be. Then we go from that to Kushinada. I believe that's who she is. Silver's really, yeah, Kushinada. Because we get a flashback. Well, not really a flashback, but we get Kushinada when she was going at the school planted a flower, and it was her flower. And then this flower supposedly is the precious forget-me-nots. One single flower has actually bloomed, and it's basically saying it's a flower that will, the forget-me-not flower has a simple meaning: don't forget me. And that we get that scene there, and basically Kushina, she disciple in this chapter, she just tells the weapons team, no, we don't do it that way. We don't kill people. This isn't the way of the warrior. This isn't the way. And because we got Thor getting attacked, we got Siegfried getting attacked. The weapons team's pretty much going after everyone and trying to kill them. And the weapons team's asking the non-weapons team, like Berserker and Hermit, like, you're trying to ignore your master's orders? And Berserker says, wasn't waiting until the last bit part of the master's orders. And then he's like, the other guy, I think it's the guy, what's his face? Disciple, saying, you don't get it all, do you? This is war. All that matters is crushing the enemy. And that's when Kushinada shows up and she just levels fucking everybody. Just levels them. And she's like, what are you doing? That's what I should be saying. Are you trying to soil the name of a warrior? And she's like, if you kill your opponent fighting like this, you will be smearing mud across your entire lineage. I'll stand my ground right here. And basically now we have, and she says, for the honor of my master. And we basically now have Hermit, Berserker, and all the other non-weapons team joining, or what seems to be joining the disciples of, They're joining them because they obviously, Kushinana, she doesn't like what they're doing. This isn't, truth be told, it is war and everything, but, it's not the way to go about it. It's not. I mean, look at Mikhail. He came in there and he was going to interrupt the fight. That's none of your business. Buzz off, It's not the way of the warrior. And essentially, the one thing I do like about this chapter is how last week set this up. Because last week's, we had the Elder. And after he didn't take him out, but he delayed him and was able to escape. That, at the end, was a great setup for this chapter. Because he influenced not only did the Elder, with that, what he was doing at the end of the chapter, influenced Ryon Sanpaku and the disciples and Kenichi and everything, but he also influenced the other ones as well. At least that's from my point of view. So Kushinada takes them out. They're ready to fight them. And next page, she says, "Don't you think, Master Mikumo?" And we have her listening in, and then we see Sakaki, Apachai, Akisame, Kensei going in, and on the sides it said, "From within the enemy camp, a crack is formed in the warrior's faith. With things unraveling, can Ryon Sanpaku capitalize on the situation?" And that's pretty much the end of the chapter. Now, like I said, 4.5 out of 5 for this one. I like it because how they set it up. How they set it up at the end of last week. Of last week's chapter. That was set up very nicely. Because it makes you realize, wow, there is really a deep connection. Even though it's Yomi, but you sense it. You sense the connection that even the disciples of Yomi have with, their masters and their martial arts and their honor. And the non-weapons team, the fist users, they don't like how the weapons team does things. You just have to look at Mikhail and this guy, yeah, he's a son of a bitch. He needs to die. He wants to just kill people. That's what he wants to do. He doesn't, He doesn't care. He wants to go and kill everyone. That's his mode, and you look at Hongo, and he's like the opposite. He's saying that's how a duel should be. That's how it should be. Gotta give it to Hongo. He's fucking awesome. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Good chapter, like I said. I thought last week's chapter was good, and this one was just as good because now we get to see what the elder Ayato, what he did, what after he did at the end of last week's chapter, what that meant for this week's. That carried over into this week's. And that brought some real big time unstability, can't even say that word, to the alliance with the non-weapons team and the weapons team. And this is possibly the light that is going to get everyone to get over this hump. I like the fact that Hongo came in there and stopped Mikhail so Satomi and Kenichi can continue their fight. I thought that was done very well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, also, I noticed something. Okay, I don't know if this happened because of the Sakura-Matsuri videos. Okay, I gained how many? It looks like over 30 subs in one day. Because right now I'm sitting at, let me just check. Let me just make sure this is true. Yeah. I'm sitting at 3,700. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, that's what happened. Whatever. And like I said, this will upload right now. I'll upload this review. Later today when I come back, I will do the other stuff. Probably the reviews are going to come very... Because I got to do the Sakura-Matsuri stuff and I got to do the reviews. But at least this gets out the way. And all I have left to do is just the minor things. It's just Captain Earth, Data Live, Dragon R, JoJo. You got those 4, and One Piece and whatever else. Episode review. So yeah, I'm Bonkai922. I'll see you guys later. This is interesting. I like this. Weapons team, non-weapons team. They're going at it now. This should be awesome. We will see what happens. We will see. I'll see you guys later. Peace.